And welcome back once again as we have yet another inductee into the Bucknell Athletics Hall of Fame. It's the class of 2020. Conor O'Brien, former soccer star here for the Bison, joining us now. Conor, congratulations. This has to be a tremendous honor for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I loved my 4 years at Bucknell. I had a great time here, got a great education, and being a student athlete here is a dream come true for a lot of people, and it was for me. So I'm very, very appreciative of this induction.
You did such a great work. They always call soccer the beautiful game or the game beautiful, however you want to look at it. And yet you were an artist out there. Did you almost look at yourself in that way?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of tried to be the playmaker of the team, right? To try to be creative. And I was lucky that my teammates and Coach Nash allowed me that opportunity and that role with the team. So I'm just very, very appreciative of my teammates allowing me to be like that. And I was given opportunities that a lot of players weren't.
In terms of given opportunities, what are some opportunities that you can recall? Any of them stand out individually or maybe even as a team or part of a team effort?
Yeah, well, I mean, we won two Patriot League championships in my 4 years. So obviously I can remember both championship games and the feeling of winning the title at the end and the clock striking zero and we're the champions twice. That was incredible. But I think for me, from a personal perspective, the semifinal victory against Lafayette my senior year when scored the winner and jumped the fence and all my teammates kind of followed. That was, for me, it was as a personal experience, that was pretty amazing.
We had that on video, and I can still to this day remember you doing that. Was that something you thought, if I get a game winner, I'm going to do? Was that just something that, at that very moment it came to you?
It was something I had talked about over the summer, actually, and I was like, oh, if we ever score a game winner in overtime, like I'll just hop the fence and leave the stadium, and it just never really happened the whole season until the semifinals, and I kind of forgot in the moment, and I was just running around celebrating, and then I remembered at the end and jumped the fence. So my teammates were all pretty funny about that too.
Was that a almost drop the mic kind of moment?
Absolutely. I mean, Coach Nash didn't even see us all leave the stadium. He went to shake the other coach's hand, and by the time he turned around, we were all gone.
You were part of some great teams, and you mentioned that, Conor. What made those teams so good?
I mean, my senior year, our team chemistry was unbelievable. We, as a team, we did everything together, on the field, off the field. We just enjoyed spending time together. And I still see a lot of those guys today in New York City, and it's always fun reminiscing and talking about like the good old days. My freshman year, we also had a really, really solid team, and we had one senior, Andrew Loya, and he was like a mentor to us as younger guys, and we really just had a good time together. So I'd say the team chemistry was a big part of it.
Why do you feel like you were such a good soccer player and such a good striker too? I mean, you were given a lot, because you earned that. Was there a reason in your mind why you felt I know you worked on your game, but why you felt like you did such a good job on the field, the pitch?
I mean, I love soccer. I love the game. I watched games growing up with my dad or on my own, just for hours and hours every day, just kind of studying the game. And like you said, it's the beautiful game. And when you see a lot of beautiful things happen on the pitch and you see these players, you just try to emulate them and you try to do the things that they're doing. And like we talked about, I was given opportunities and I just tried to make the most of them when I had them. And I made mistakes. Everyone does. But, a lot of things turned out pretty well.
And yet, even today, but certainly when you played, the Patriot League was such a tough physical league. Yeah. It's tough to get anybody free to make those kind of really beautiful moves, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And once again, I was speaking with Coach Nash about this earlier, where I was lucky that I had a guy like Ross Liberati or Tommy McCabe to kind of be the enforcer behind me, to allow me that opportunity to be free and try to be creative and roam around a little bit and not get hit and not get beat up by the big, strong Patriot League players. They were my big, strong Patriot League players. So, I was kind of fortunate with that.
You mentioned about New York City. What are you doing right now? What is Conor O'Brien doing for those folks who may not have kept up with him once you graduated?
Yeah, so obviously after I graduated, I went over to Europe, played eight years over in Europe, Denmark, Norway, Austria. And then as I was hitting my 30s, I kind of realized, I don't really want this life anymore, and came back, and now I'm a risk management sales exec in New York City for a company, Marsh McLennan, where I actually was working with Eric Ferson, one of my roommates from Bucknell. He was a year behind me, and so it's good to see those guys. I see Josh Plump every now and then. I just went to Sean King's wedding last weekend, so it's good to keep in touch with those guys.
There's something about a team because it's kind of like a brotherhood, isn't it?
Absolutely. We all live together. We all spent a lot of our time together. We were taking classes together, studying together. So those guys, for 4 years, they were my brothers. And even now, like, we try to keep in touch as often as we can and just see each other, even if it's once a year or once every 6 months or whenever it is. It feels like a day hasn't gone by.
Before we let you go too, Conor, you talked about your time as a pro. What was the difference between doing that on a pro level compared to here at Bucknell and on the college level?
Honestly, I mean, there's not much of a difference. It's small little details here and there, and it's just about being consistent, on a daily basis. So I remember when I was looking at colleges in the first place, the difference between playing D3 and D1 was, can you do it 5 days a week versus 2 days a week? And that becomes the same thing as you get to a pro level. Can you do it 7 days a week instead of 5 days a week? And can you be consistent every day?
Well, I tell you what, you were consistent, and you were the, if you will, the epitome of consistency. Congratulations being inducted into the 2020 Athletics Hall of Fame here at Bucknell, Conor.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Conor O'Brien, another inductee into this year's class.